let's talk about the 4th of July, because this is another thing when it comes to kids that's interesting to me that I observed in the last few days for the 4th. I think I can talk about it now because this podcast is going to come out pretty darn quick.
Yes,
So,
it is.
yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah. This is the interesting thing that I have observed. Kids don't like fireworks. Like the ones that blow up in the sky, like the ones that we pay, that I'm certain that cost tons and tons of money.
Oh, the budget for fireworks.
I'm sure it's
is
huge,
very high.
and
in Ponca.
I will tell you, I love a good fireworks show.
Yeah, for sure.
There's nothing to me that's more incredible.
Yeah.
My children lose interest in the first 15 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like, it's not even cool. They don't even think that it's interesting. It's like so surreal to me that kids, and I'd be interested to hear what other people's thoughts are on this, because maybe their kids are different. But I felt like I was going, kids, watch the fireworks. Kids, watch this cool firework. Like, they just were not like responsive to it.
It's like they'd rather see like stab the anthill that's down the way or something like that.
No, my kids had these. They had these like lights that were wrapped around
Oh
themselves.
yeah.
Like
The glow stick
necklace,
things.
glow stick, and glasses,
Yeah.
glow sticks, and they were walking around to the music playing and spinning their glow sticks like they were in a techno club. Yeah,
Oh.
that's what they did instead of watching the fireworks. They danced to the patriotic music, spinning their own glow sticks.
So they were more interested in putting on the show
They-
than watching the show.
It was like the fireworks were just an aesthetic behind them as they
Wow.
were performing. The fireworks were exploding behind them.
Fascinating.
And I'm certain that they thought that us as the adults sitting in the lawn chairs, that our focus was just on them.
Yeah, I didn't even notice they were doing that.
Yeah, we were watching the fireworks show.
Right.
While they were dancing and doing their own, piece. So
Was Abby a part of that?
no, Abby.
Oh.
I think Abby watched the show. I was watching the show. So if they weren't directly in front of me like the rest of the children were, doing their firework dance routine, I was pretty focused on, what was happening in the sky.
Welcome.
Fresh out the box. Stop. Look and watch. Ready yet? Get set. It's
The Following Podcast.
Eat my short. Not the mama. Not the mama.
Goodbye.
So the 4th of July, to me, it encompasses like all of the sense of summer, right?
Yeah, it's where summer comes together.
Right. It's just, you have all of
It's
that.
like it's like the crest.
It's everything that you envision as summer is there.
Well,
So-
and this, especially summer vacation, right? Like
Right.
that's like the center. It's almost like the mountain peak, and now we're on a downhill slide to back to school.
It's the climax.
Right.
yeah. So my question for you, Ben, is what are the five like the five senses? What are the senses of summer?
Hearing, seeing,
It's good. It's good.
tasting.
Hold on.
Smelling, touching.
That's good. So what is the
Feeling?
what is the smell? What is the smell of summer?
Ooh, rain on asphalt.
See, I think that's more spring. Rain
On
on
a
asphalt.
hot summer day.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
Yeah, you can smell it.
I can get that. I can get that.
So go ahead, Ashley.
I think the smell of sunscreen
Okay.
or
Okay.
the smell of like a pool that's been like the chlorine kind of
Yeah.
smell of a pool.
I'm surprised, Ashley, that you actually know what sunscreen smells like. Because every time you come back from any water activity, you look like Bob the Tomato.
Thank you.
That's because she goes with the tanning oil.
I think she goes with I forgot to put sunscreen on.
I don't put sunscreen on.
Yeah. Aren't you glad we got on the subject?
Yes, thank you for sharing that.
Speaking
You
of
notice
which,
I'm not jumping in. I'm trying
Ashley
to get us to
also
move
hates
on.
pools. So, oh, and cruises.
Right.
The other two things that
You really want to make Ashley not like you? Invite her on a cruise.
or to a pool party.
Or just invite her in general to anything. Okay, smell of summer,
Smell of summer.
sunscreen.
Sunscreen. I actually thought sunscreen is a really good one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Barbecue.
Okay, like
Really?
like the smoker.
Yeah, the grill.
Okay.
is
I
actually what
grill.
it is.
Yeah,
Like,
that makes sense.
when like coals cooking, that's to
Yeah.
me that's smell
Okay.
of summer.
Yeah. Quick question: when someone says barbecue,
I
Do
think
you-
of grilling.
do you
But
think grill like burgers, hot dogs,
Yeah,
all of
so,
the
well,
above?
that's what barbecue was before we moved to Oklahoma.
yeah, but that's the thing is a different thing. Like,
Yeah.
in Oklahoma, it's let's get the grill out when you're wanting to do steaks or burgers or things on those lines, and barbecue is reserved for ribs and
right. Barbecuing is like you're getting the smoker.
Yeah,
out,
we're getting the smoker out
and
and
we're
we're doing
making-
a
yeah.
long cook.
right.
So
Yeah, we grew up
that's
with the
great.
barbecue.
the
being
barbecue was the grill.
hot dogs, hamburgers,
Gotcha.
steaks, things
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
Shrimp on the barbie.
Yeah,
There.
that's right. Yeah, shrimp on the barbie would be on the grill.
Yeah, but my accent was terrible.
No,
Did you
yeah,
hear
it was horrid. Yeah,
That was
gotta,
really bad.
Gotta encompass my inner Australian.
Yeah.
Aussie.
Yeah.
Good eye, mate.
still bad.
No, it's
Nope.
terrible.
So, what's your taste? What do you taste when you think of summer?
Taste?
Yeah, the taste of summer.
Sweat. Dripping into my mouth by accident. Like, ugh, God, that's terrible. No, I think my favorite taste of summer is probably Mom's potato salad.
Okay,
It's pretty good.
easy.
Oh, no, I got a winner. Pinwheels.
You like Shonda's pinwheels.
Oh, yeah, Shonda makes these pinwheels.
Maybe you should cue in the recipe underneath.
I wouldn't do that. Then
Oh.
everybody gets them. It's my selfish summer thing.
Oh, I didn't say selfish summer thing. I said
Oh.
taste of summer.
Coors Light,
Okay.
but that's really the taste of year round for me. So
Oh, bench.
just kidding.
So many
Wait, what's
problems.
A pinwheel.
Yeah, it's like a tortilla wrap, I guess.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
then
You
You
roll
cut
it up,
Slice
and then it's
them.
cut into slices,
those
and they
are
look
good.
like little pinwheels.
Yeah, yeah.
They're awesome.
Ashley, what's your taste of summer?
So, I don't know. I think watermelon
Okay.
kind of
Okay.
is a good one.
Watermelon.
Maybe popsicles, but I don't eat popsicles really.
Yeah.
But I think popsicles when I think taste. That's one of the first things that came to my mind.
One of the first things that comes to my mind is bug spray.
Okay.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I got some on my lips.
So
the other
horrible.
day.
That is a
My lips like went numb. It was terrible. I kept like licking them and spitting, thinking like if
I
I,
really
get it all
hope
out of the
that-
way at first.
That wasn't really the first thing. It was just the first negative thing. and
Oh,
I just wanted to
man.
say it.
No,
like-
that's terrible.
You
You're
want
like Buddy and Elf when he sprays the perfume in his mouth.
Yeah, well, you know,
Uh.
I've never had a little baby beard while spraying sun
Yeah, that'll
spray
do it.
before.
Yeah.
Boy, that stuff lingers.
It does.
It just sits there in your little baby beard and doesn't come out.
Yeah, it does. Okay, so you want to know what my taste is, though? It's corn on the cob.
I love corn on the cob.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, grilled corn on the cob.
Well, grilled is
Mhm.
key, and there's nothing like cleaning off a grilled corn on the cob
No.
either.
Dad is an expert corn on the cobber. And-
He'll rate other people's corn on the cobs.
Yep.
Like we would take ours to him as kids and say, "How'd I do, Dad?" And he'd go,
Yeah,
probably-
if it was
that's like a
cleaned off.
6." You know, and then so you
How-
take it and you clean it a little bit more. How
Yeah.
about now? Well, it's probably like a 7.
Dad could devour a piece of corn on the cob, good sized
Uh-huh.
piece, in about 5 seconds
Yeah,
flat.
he just
He
like
just does this. He almost looks like a typewriter.
Oh yeah, like Looney Tunes.
Yeah, I mean, and we'll just, and it's clean. Like it's clean. You go, oh my gosh, like it looks like a.
How did you
chicken
get all that corn
picked
off the
All
cob?
the corn off this cob. You know
crazy.
what I mean? Like it's been pecked off.
Yeah,
He's got like teeth that are made for chewing corn on the cob.
it's pretty impressive.
It is.
Are you the kind of people that would order corn on the cob at a restaurant?
I wouldn't. My boys do.
Okay,
They-
because I
they'll
don't
get
think
it as
I
a
would
side.
either, really.
Yeah, I feel like that would be really tough to eat
I
at a
feel
restaurant.
kind of vulnerable. Like, you know
See,
what I mean?
you
like,
wanna
You
know
can
what's
escort
funny?
the person next to
well,
you.
it's just kind of embarrassing to
So
eat in front of
for
a
a-
bunch of people.
So for a time, I worked at Chili's, and what was always interesting is people that get corn on the cob, and they would cut the corn off the
I had to
cob
do that when I had braces.
before they ate it.
Okay.
They would just use their
Yeah,
steak knife
yeah,
and
and
cut
it
it
just
off,
kind of-
and
yeah.
that came in rows.
Yeah.
It worked.
Yeah, it does.
So next time you're thinking of ordering corn on the cob, just go for it and just cut the corn off the
okay,
cob.
I will. Thank you,
And it won't
Luke.
be in your teeth. You're welcome.
Thank you.
So, feeling the touch. What is the touch of summer? Like, what do you when you think of summer? What do you feel?
My first thought would be itchy.
Mosquito bites, sunburn.
Rolling in the grass,
huh.
and your mom told you not to take your shirt off, but
Right.
you did it anyway,
You rolled down the
and you
hill.
rolled down the hill.
The legs sticking to the chair feeling.
Ugh.
Listen, this wasn't all supposed to be negative. We're supposed to be talking about. Maybe I should have said a positive thing and a negative thing.
Well, that would have made more sense, I think.
Yeah,
A positive thing.
positive feeling.
A positive feeling be jumping in the pool on a hot day. I think that's pretty positive. And on the contrary,
Mm-hmm.
remember Aunt Jan had those leather seats in her old Lincoln car,
Yes,
that town car?
yes,
She'd take us to the public pool.
yeah,
And you'd get in and you would be freezing.
Right.
You'd be freezing after getting out of the pool and you're wrapped up in a blanket. And then the first thing we'd do is we'd go out to her car and we'd get in her hot car.
right.
And we'd sit on that hot leather.
Yeah,
And it was like,
it
it was like, yeah. You remember?
I do.
Yeah.
The relief.
Yeah. It's like,
That's-
that was definitely a feeling.
Well,
of
and that's
summer.
kind of like laying on hot concrete
Sure.
after
Yeah,
like
drip
Yeah.
drying.
you're drip drying,
Yeah.
so you got to lay out on the concrete to dry
Yep.
off, and are just taking the warmth of the concrete in.
Yeah, the sun.
That's a feeling of summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got, Ash?
I think kind of similar to Ben, just like the cold water feeling when you're really hot. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
That shock to the system.
I
Well,
got it.
just, like, it's so refreshing. Like,
Yeah.
when we went kayaking this summer, I like put my hands in the water while we were kayaking, and it
Yeah.
was like, don't forget this feeling, yeah.
So, how about the feeling of aloe on a sunburn? Like the smell and feel of like being like lathered up in aloe after you were in the sun.
Yeah,
for
I
just a
don't
little
see.
bit
I
too
don't
long.
like that at all.
Oh,
I don't.
see, I do.
I'm with Ashley as far as suntan lotion goes too. Like,
Well,
I
you're
hate
just
putting
you're
it
a swim
on.
shirt guy,
yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason for that.
right? Because you don't like sunburns.
No.
They itch too deep.
Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah. We
And-
put coconut oil on our sunburns, and I don't like that because coconut oil will stain stuff, you know?
Yeah.
And so you have to, like, sit kind of, like, awkwardly
Have you
still.
tried aloe on like fresh aloe,
I mean,
like the fruit? Is it a fruit or a vegetable?
It's
like
a plant.
leaf.
No, it's like a big.
Well, I know.
yeah,
yeah,
but it's like a cactus, I guess.
Yeah.
is the best way to explain
Is
it.
a cactus a fruit or a vegetable?
I'll look it up.
I
You
still
guys
think
keep
it's a
talking.
plant.
Go on
Okay.
to the next sentence.
Well, I mean, it holds water, so imagine it's something.
I think it's a cactus.
Like, people eat cactus. Is it cactus? Is it like lettuce? Like cactus leaf?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's a plant.
All right. So, what do you?
It's a
so
succulent.
A succulent.
it's a succulent,
Oh.
a sucky.
Is a succulent plant species of genus Aloe.
Well, that sucks.
There you go. You could grow aloe and say you're growing succulents.
Yeah, that's what my wife does.
Oh,
She has an aloe plant.
really?
Yeah.
Does she chop it up and make it into like fresh aloe?
And then she puts it on the boys,
Mhm.
and I say, "Aloe, aloe."
Gosh, that was really bad.
They
So-
really. That's one of my good dad jokes that
Yeah.
I go to.
They probably love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay, so vision. What's the thing you see when you think of summer?
Okay, you drive down the road,
Mm-hmm.
and what do you see in the road in front of you as you're driving down on a really hot day?
Haze,
Moisture.
moisture.
And it looks like it's there. It's like I used to think it was a mirage when
Yeah.
I was a kid. That's what I called it, But it's just those,
Heat waves.
yeah, and it's reflecting off of the ground or whatever, and that's what you're seeing in the distance. So as you think it's water, and as you get close, it goes away.
Yeah.
That's my vision. Literally a vision
Yeah.
of water.
And what's in your mind's eye when you think or when you see summer, Ashley?
I don't know.
I
Everything's
thought it was
just
something
like
to see. I didn't know mind's eye. You
Well, I mean, like it's I just
senses.
yeah, it
Mind's
is.
eye
It's a
is like
sense. Like,
thinking.
what are you seeing when you look at when you're thinking about what you see? As far as it's the same thing with smell, or I mean, all of them have been thinking about what's the first thing you feel or see or sense. So
How
like-
dare you mansplain to me?
I had to. You needed a little mansplaining.
Ashley, do you know what mansplaining is? It's
no.
when men explain things to women.
I do it to you all the time.
Oh,
Right now,
yeah, you-
right now I'm
yes.
mansplaining to you what mansplaining is.
Correct.
Gotcha.
You're welcome.
So
The
vision of summer.
vision of summer. I think probably my backyard. You just spend more time outside in the summer. And
Okay.
Everything's more saturated and stuff.
Mhm,
So
mhm,
yeah,
mhm.
and yeah, my backyard.
Yeah, I like that. I think that my vision of summer is probably Grand Lake because
Nice.
that's like our summer vacation destination. My wife's family has got a house out there, and so we get to get a little piece of time, and that's kind of come the summer thing. When I think about summer, I see the lake house. You know. So I don't know. That's me. So sound. What's the sound of summer? When you think of summer, what's the sound you hear?
I don't know. Kids playing
Okay.
outside,
Yeah.
you know.
Lawnmowers.
I really
good. Good,
lawnmowers
Ash.
is definitely a big
Oh,
one. Yeah.
and fresh cut grass is one of my favorite smells.
Ugh.
Yeah.
It makes
I-
me sneeze.
Yeah, it makes my nose stuffy just thinking
Yeah.
about it. That's my sense. Allergies.
allergies. Allergic
What's
to
the smell of summer? I don't know. I'll let you know when
I'll let you know
let
if I
you
ever
know
get
when
to
my
smell
allergies
it.
clear up.
I think I think sound is crashing waves.
'Kay.
That's childhood, right? Like,
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
you're laying on the beach,
Big
your eyes are
beach time.
closed,
Yeah.
you're drying off. I can get all those senses, everything that you described earlier on the beach. You know, the sun hitting you, it's cold, but the sand's hot. You know, and the hearing of the crashing waves, the feeling of the sand. You know, all of those things are kind of mixed up in
And
it.
imagine the waves so high. I was just thinking of that.
Going down to the ocean side.
The sun is hot. I feel the heat. Something starts to move.
I
my
don't think we
feet.
can actually sing that anymore. It's not legally Uncle Gary's. So
Oh, it
so
isn't?
well, I mean, maybe
he
it's
sell the rights
maybe he
to
still
it?
has in
Yeah,
Texas.
yeah.
Well, I don't know.
Side
Who knows?
piece.
Whole
We
thing.
need to dedicate a segment
Oh,
to Gary
yeah.
the Happy Pirate.
You
at
know
some
we
point.
should. Let's make sure that next time we do
Yeah.
a thing, you know, our next prep for podcasts, we're going to talk to you guys about our Uncle Gary.
Well, one of our next.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Our
you
next-
never know.
well, yes. Well, we've got other things that will go before it, but well, okay. Well, those are our 5 senses of summer. We did it.
What a fun game.
Yeah. I thought that would be fun.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do another one for the fall when fall time comes.
Ooh, I love that. Yes, let's do that.
And maybe one for Christmas time.
I love that.
And maybe one for winter, which pretty much everything will be cold.
And gray.
Yeah.
And sad.
And gross.
Yeah.
And the desire for spring.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Cold hurts
Cold
too.
does hurt.
Like heat is uncomfortable sometimes, but it never is like
Yeah.
you're never in pain.
Yes. Yes.
I can get down with that.
Yeah.
It's true. So, I was wondering, Ben, if you wanted to wander down memory lane with me a bit.
You know I love a good trip down memory lane.
Trip down memory lane. I was going to talk us through the top films of the 1990s year over year.
Oh.
So this is the number one grossing film for every year in the 90s, and this is here is the catch.
Okay.
Okay. For each film I list, you have to quote something from the movie.
Oh, too easy.
No, I don't think you're going to be able to get them all. Some of them are hard. You'll see. The top grossing film. You'd think I'd be able to say that. We make them. The top grossing film of 1990
Mm-hmm.
was Home Alone.
Right.
Do you have a good Home Alone quote?
Kevin.
Oh, well, that
Pretty
would be
easy.
the
Keep the
iconic.
change. Keep the change, you filthy animal.
Yeah, keep the change. You filthy animals. A good one. I really like John Candy's part in that movie.
Uh-huh.
Where he's driving and he talks about polka, polka, polka. You know all the different.
The polka twist.
Yeah.
Wait, that's in the second one,
Kiss
though.
me, polka. No,
No,
that's
that's the first one.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
She
actually,
gets on the
something
truck
interesting.
and they get her home.
Something interesting about that is John Candy. He did all of that without any lines.
Yeah, I know. It was all
He-
ad libbed.
He just went in and ad libbed everything. Everything John Candy had
And
in that.
he didn't. And he
in that
made
thing,
and he
he
made
ad-libbed.
almost nothing for that movie.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was 1990. I actually remember seeing that on the big screen. I remember watching.
You do?
No. I actually remember seeing the second one on the big screen. So,
Okay.
which we can't. That's not on this list. So,
Oh.
we weren't gonna go down that road.
Dang it.
I just I remember seeing the home appear in the opening credits and being very excited.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Especially when it was wedged between two buildings.
yeah. Lost in New York.
I do kind of remember that.
Okay, are you ready for 91?
Yes.
Beauty and the Beast.
Oh.
You know what's weird is you said Beauty and the Beast, and I immediately thought of The Little Mermaid.
Oh. That is not what we're talking about.
Bonjour.
Beauty and the
Bonjour.
Beast
Bonjour.
was
Bonjour. Bonjour.
1991's
There
top
goes the
grossing
baker with his
movie.
tray like always. There you go. There's your quote.
Yeah. It's kind of funny to think that it was an animated movie that was the top grosser. But
Yeah.
here's the crazy thing. 1992, Aladdin. Disney's Aladdin was a top grossing movie in 92.
Someday, boo, we'll be rich, live in a castle, and we'll have no problems at all.
That's it. You did
Yeah.
good. Aladdin, I loved that movie because I could sing all the songs and hit all the notes. Well, at least that Aladdin sang.
Yeah.
I didn't do so great on Jasmine's stuff, but so it's probably the first movie that I think I had
Do you know
memorized
the
from
voice-
start to finish.
The voice actor of Aladdin was DJ's boyfriend on Full House.
Right. I remember thinking, wow.
Steve.
Yeah, Steve. We really liked it because of that.
But he wasn't the singing.
No, he
or
just
he
did
wasn't
the,
the
he
one
just
that
did
did
the voice.
the singing
So what's
portions.
funny about Aladdin is I could tell you the movie from start to finish. I could quote the whole movie,
Mhm.
right? Line for line, I think.
Mhm.
I don't know if I could do it today, but I definitely used to be able to do it.
Sure.
Like we'd watch the movie and I could quote every line. I remember going through basic training when we were in going through AIT and we were on our 25-mile road march.
Mhm.
Walking it in after the 2 days or whatever it was. It was like the Walking Dead march or whatever they
Mhm.
call it. And I remember thinking, oh, I have Aladdin memorized. I'm just gonna watch it in my head. And I remember quoting every line.
That's how tired you were.
Every line in my head from Aladdin, start to finish. I walked through the whole movie. I'm
Yeah.
sure I missed something, but that was how I kept myself entertained on the walk while we were doing, instead of scanning my sector and all the things I was supposed to be doing. I was
making sure
I
that
was just watching Aladdin. So,
I just was probably thinking about how bad my feet hurt.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, 1993. The highest grossing movie in 1993 was Jurassic Park.
Nice.
See, that's really easy.
Yeah.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Yeah, that was pretty
There you
easy.
go. You're welcome.
But there are other ones you could definitely do, right?
I like that part where he grabs the Velociraptor talon and he starts showing the little kid where he could slice him.
Yeah.
And I always wondered why that little kid was on an architect's site anyway.
Well, he was the nephew of the.
That's scary.
He was the nephew of the owner. He was
No,
the
it was
grandchild.
I'm talking about the very beginning.
Oh yes, yeah. Now I'm with you.
They're-
when he's
they're
talking
on a-
about slicing his
yeah.
gut and all
Yeah.
that. Yeah. That kid was in some other things too. This is good. It's good. So anyway, clever girl. That's my line from
Yeah.
Jurassic Park, right before you got 8. All right, 1994. We're going back. We're going Disney again. The Lion King.
Wow, Disney had a pretty good 10 years, huh?
Yeah, they sure did. The Lion King.
Remember who you are.
Good. That's good, Ben. Everything the light touches. What is? Wait.
That was Jonathan Taylor Thomas played Simba.
Right.
And a different actor sang. That apparently happened a lot then.
Well, they were used because Jonathan Taylor Thomas was very popular at that
he
point
was.
in time.
Yeah, he was
All the ladies loved him.
at the top of
JTT.
his little career.
JTT came before JT. There was
Yep.
JT, Justin Timberlake, but before JT was JTT, Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Oh.
He was in Home Improvement.
Right.
His big, he's the middle child Randy in Home Improvement, the TV show,
Mm-hmm.
and
He was the heartthrob.
But yeah, he was in Huck Finn.
Yeah, funny. We just talked about Brad from that show last time
yeah,
we were.
that is
last
funny.
time we did this.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. So next is 1995 Toy Story. Funny to think Pixar has been around since 1995.
Yeah. Oh, it makes sense. I remember seeing this one in theaters too. Yeah. But Disney used to make some pretty good movies, and Pixar used to make some pretty good movies. Now it's Disney Pixar, so
Yeah, I know, and they struggle now.
Yeah.
They struggle to stay afloat.
yeah.
So, what's your you remember any lines from Toy Story?
You are a toy, a child's plaything. That's what comes.
You
to mind.
are a sad, strange little man. You have my pity. Farewell.
And again, we're gonna line that out with Tim Allen,
Uh-huh.
who was in Home Improvement, and was obviously
he was having a good career then too.
Big
And
deal.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks, one of the best actors that's ever lived.
Yep.
Okay, so 1996, Independence Day. I was just talking about this one because it's one of my yearly things. I like to watch Independence Day on Independence Day.
Yeah. He has that big speech at the end.
Mm-hmm.
He says, gosh, I can't think how it starts.
This is what makes this part hard. See,
Well, you put me on the spot.
and you thought it was going to be easy.
Well, it has been up until now.
Now
You
we're
knew
at
Independence
Independence
Day
Day.
was coming. That's
I
why.
did.
I'm surprised that was a top grossing
Yeah,
film.
can you believe it? It was 1996,
Smith.
number one.
Will Smith was
He was
getting
huge.
real popular
Yeah.
then too. He just did Men in Black and
I don't
Or
know that
was
Men in
about
Black had come
to.
out yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was about to. He was moving up the charts. I mean, this was he'd done Bad Boys and
I just remember
Fresh
that,
Prince of Bel Air was huge.
say mankind. That word doesn't mean the same thing as we can't be consumed by our petty differences anymore. Or
Yeah.
something like that.
Hey, you got some of it.
Yeah, something like that. I got a piece of it.
That's a great. He has a great speech.
Yeah,
there.
he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was it that did that?
I can't remember the actor's name, but he was also in the Newsies.
Oh, he's in lots of
Yeah,
things.
he played the president.
He was in Casper.
Yeah,
We're really great at remembering what people are in without remembering what their names are.
Yeah, but I could tell you all of the Casper. That was a really good movie, though. That was
Yep.
like that had.
I know, and it was not a top grossing
No,
movie
it
in the
wasn't.
90s.
But I remember it being. That might be a fun one to watch with the kids.
You haven't seen
forgot
it? You
about
haven't
that.
watched it with the kids?
I don't think so.
Oh man, yeah,
No.
they'll love it. Okay, 1997. It's 1997. I almost jumped the gun. 1997, Titanic.
Oh, come on. I'm flying, Jack. I mean, seriously? How hard is that?
Interesting that the Titanic. That
Yeah.
was probably one of the.
I've seen so many different diagrams for how Jack could have fit on that door.
I'm telling
Yeah.
just this is
Not
schematics.
understanding.
We we don't know why
50
he
different ways that it could have happened.
Yeah,
But no,
he
she
froze
just
to death in the
freeze to
water.
death and let him sink.
She let him go. That was it. That's the number 9. Was I will say that 1997. That at that point, Titanic was the top grossing box office movie of all time.
Well, that one, people were going back multiple times to see it.
multiple times to see it.
And that was a 2 VHSer.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Remember? That thing released?
So
we
Celine
had
Dion
2 tapes.
and Celine Dion did the
Yeah.
did the song that was was a top gross. It was on the charts, number
Right.
1 on the charts for a long time as well.
Yeah.
Um,
That was a pivotal moment in growing up history.
It definitely was.
Yep.
Yep. It was a iconic event where all of a sudden teenagers cared about history again.
At least the love stories
At
they were
least-
tied to.
At least the love
Well,
stories.
they tried to do the same thing with Pearl Harbor, and
They
that
tried
one
to do it
didn't
a
as
lot.
well.
They tried to do a lot of
Yeah.
movies that way.
Add
They
love
thought,
stories
oh, we can
to-
add a love story and that'll make it something,
Yeah.
And they didn't do as well.
Yeah.
Although one war movie that did do very well, 1998, Saving Private Ryan.
Uh-huh. A great movie.
What do you got?
Fubar.
Oh gosh, can't even say that one.
Well, I'm not going to say it out
Oh,
loud.
that's right. That is a classic line, though. Yeah, it's Fubar.
Yeah.
Good.
What's Fubar? You'll have to look it up, folks, if you want to know what that means.
Don't
it was
put it
said-
in. Don't cue in.
It was said in the military for a number of years.
Twas.
Yeah.
Okay. 1999, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
That was the top gross.
That was a top grossing in 1999.
Ugh.
99 must have been a rough year,
It must have.
But you got to think people have been waiting 30 years for another Star Wars
it's
movie.
just sad. You remember they re-released all of the old Star Wars
Yeah.
movies prior to this? They with digital upgrades or
Right.
whatever. They added scenes
Right.
and cleaned stuff
they
up.
used new CGI and all sorts of things, which is very old CGI now. But
Yeah.
what's interesting about that is that was when they introduced Jar Jar Binks
Ugh.
for the first time.
Misa, Yusa. It was terrible.
And you got your one line.
Oh.
You worked it out.
I hated Jar Jar. He's the most hated Star Wars character of all time. Did you know that?
No, I
Yeah.
didn't, but I'm not surprised. I mean, what other Star Wars character are you going to hate? Like Darth Vader, Darth Maul, the Emperor?
Well, yeah. I mean, at least he's not one of them.
Yeah.
I kind of like Jar Jar. I feel like I never remember hating him growing up.
Well, you were little.
Okay.
Watch it again. See how you feel.
You were
I will.
very little. It's like putting Elmo in a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
Elmo.
He was terrible.
So
Pisa,
bad.
yusa.
Yeah. So bad. So yeah, that's it. That's top grossing movies of the 90s and Ben's famous movie quotes. I
There
think
you
that
go.
there were some that he could have done better on.
I could have.
There were some that he could have done worse
If
on.
you'd have given me a little more time to prep,
There was no.
I could have done impressions.
This was gonna be your moment to show me what you had, and I give you a
Boy,
C+.
I really blew it.
You did. I think you could have done better, especially for the way that you came into it. You came in like, like this is easy. I can do
Well, I
this.
figured it would be.
I know. So
You
I'm
surprised me with some of those titles.
Well, that's because you wouldn't expect some of these to be top grossers.
No. Now, Home Alone, did you know that they didn't actually plan on that one making any money?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's turned out to be over $1 billion franchise.
Well, that's because I mean, when you're dealing with Macaulay Culkin,
yeah, it
the
was.
Culkin family just turned out great
If
actors.
you haven't had a chance to watch the movies that made us the Home Alone edition on Netflix,
Mm-hmm.
it's worth a watch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
Yeah.
whole thing is worth a watch.
Yeah.
The movies that made us is a good series.
good series. Yeah.
There's a podcast I want to listen to over the Christmas season that talks about, I think, like kind of the behind the scenes of all these famous Christmas movies.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. They had one over Elf too, which is pretty good.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the '90s phrase of the day:
Okay.
getting jiggy.
Oh, that definitely came from Will Smith.
Yep. There's a Will Smith.
Getting jiggy with it. Na 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 na. Na 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 na.
So Will Smith went through a phase where he did a lot of rap. Like he actually produced 2 or 3 rap albums.
I don't think it was a phase. I think that was his
Well, I mean, he started out.
his genre.
Well, Will Smith started out as a rapper.
Yeah.
Like before he
Before
he went to Fresh Prince, he was the Fresh Prince. He was rapping
right.
as the Fresh Prince.
Yeah.
him-
Parents just don't understand.
Yeah, who was it? His co-part in that was on the Fresh Prince a lot.
Counterpart.
Yeah, his counterpart, co-part.
The
is-
one that got thrown out the door all
yeah,
the time
Yeah, I can't remember what his name was.
in the show.
Yeah.
It was
Something.
I
Just cue in if you have the answer to that.
I know
question.
the answer.
So-
Why can't I think of it? Though?
I don't know. Because it wasn't a cousin; it was his best friend,
No, yeah, Jazz.
Jazz,
Yeah, Jazz.
the Jazz Man.
That was what his name was.
Yeah. So anyway, they had an album, a couple albums, or an album or a couple albums that they did together. Parents Just Don't Understand was one of them. And then after that, they started Fresh Prince, and then he came back around and started doing rap again when he did MIB,
Yeah, Men in Black.
Men in Black, and wrote "We Are the Men in Black." Galaxy
MIB.
defend us. And then Getting
MIB.
Jiggy was his next album, and that song was popular, gross charts. Getting Jiggy just became a new catchphrase in the 1990s. Getting Jiggy was just kind of like the cool thing that you did when you every once in a while you just needed to get jiggy. So people say, "What are you doing?"
Dance like nobody's watching.
Yeah, I'm getting jiggy.
Getting jiggy.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, everyone needs to be getting jiggy every once in a while.
We're going to get jiggy with it.
Until next week,
Get jiggy.
get jiggy.
The Villain Podcast.
Eat my short. Not the mama, not the mama.
Goodbye.
Wake up. Wake